Hello and welcome back once again to Entirely English. We are continuing it with our naval idioms theme. Today we're looking at some of the idioms beginning with C. And the first one is call the shots. Call the shots. That's shots, S-H-O-T-S, not shops. It's not like, hello, can you send me 6 chickens and a loaf of bread? It's called the shots. Now in the Navy, the person who called the shots was the person ordering the cannons to fire or the muskets to fire, or even the arrows in some cases, bows and arrows. They would call the shots. They would tell the people when to fire. Otherwise it would be chaos. People would be firing too early when the other ship wasn't in range. So you had somebody who would call the shots. Sometimes be the captain, sometimes the bosun, sometimes the first mate.
Charge your cannon and stand ready to repel attack. Send the archers and musketmen to their positions. Archers and musketmen, to your stations. Master at arms. Man your guns. Clear deck. Make ready. Then give them a taste of their own iron.
So he would call the shots. He'd tell people when to fire, keep them organised. And we use this idiom nowadays in a business, or in your home. Business is in home, often the same. So the person who calls the shots in the office, the boss, the CEO, is the one who tells everybody what to do, tells them when they can go home, how much to spend on advertising and everything. He calls the shots. He says when and what can happen. In the traditional British home, the man was the man of the house, but it was actually the woman who called the shots. The wife was in charge.
Is that you, Henry? Yes. You wiped your feet? Yes.
Okay, the next one is cat got your tongue. Now, there's two theories on this one where it originates. There's no evidence for either. One is this goes back to the days of witchcraft, and a cat would creep onto a baby's chest and eat its tongue while it was sleeping. I'm not sure where that comes from. The more believable one is, again, in the Navy, of course, otherwise it wouldn't be on this list. The cat was a kind of whip, a cat of 9 tails. It was a whip with 9 leather thongs on it, which would be used to beat people. Now, cat comes up in several idioms with the same meaning. We will come to them in the alphabet order they arrive in. This one, cat, is at the beginning of the phrase, so cat got your tongue. Maybe I should do an entire video dedicated to cats. So you know on YouTube, cat videos are very popular. Anyway, I digress. Cat got your tongue. If a person was being punished for whatever, stealing things, abusing their position, whatever, they would be tied, let's just say tied, and whipped with the cat. Afterwards, according to one theory, they'd often be found huddled in a corner, and the other crewmen would be laughing at them because this person was just crying, they couldn't speak. So the phrase they'd use to tease and torment him was cat got your tongue. And you probably are aware, you've probably heard this in many films and things. Cat got your tongue means that somebody can't speak or won't speak. You know, they're being investigated by the NCIS team, and they say, why did you do this? And he doesn't answer. They say, come on, cat got your tongue. It's like, why aren't you speaking? All right. The next one we're going to do is a clean slate. In Latin, tabula rasa. Now, in the Navy, Merchant Navy, Royal Navy, even the pirates, at night time and the daytime, they would have somebody who would be keeping a record of where the ship went, the direction it went, the weather, any encounters, any sightings of other ships, like they might saw a Spanish galleon on the horizon. It would be written down on a slate by the person on watch duty. When they were replaced, when the next person came up to take over the watch, because it had to be a rolling thing, and 24 hours a day, they would copy all of their records, or the important records, into the logbook. That's the diary or the journal of the trip, and then they would wipe it clean for the next person to use. So he would start with a clean slate. Daily use nowadays, a clean slate, like somebody's released from prison, and the guard at the gate as they're letting him out would say, all right, you're starting with a clean slate, like you've got a new life, new opportunities. Yeah. So when you've cleared your history, when you like your browsing history, when you've changed situations, maybe you moved to another country like I did. I went to live in Ukraine and Romania. When I moved there, I started with a clean slate. I didn't know many people. It was an entirely new life for me. Okay. And again, in those sort of cop dramas, particularly from America, they'll say, give us the evidence and we'll expunge your record. In other words, give you a clean slate, wipe off all your crimes from the database. Okay, and the last one I'm going to do for today is cut and run. Now, as I said in the A idioms, people think the cut and run is to cut the anchor free. And as I said, there's two problems with that. Normally the anchor would be secured by a chain, which is very difficult to cut. You often see them with ropes, but think about it logically, ropes wouldn't last very long in the sea, in and out of that salty water all the time. Particularly with big galleons, the warships, chain was much stronger for holding them in position. So they say you cut the chain and you run away. They're kind of close. This is actually, yes, it's about running away, escaping. So maybe you're sailing on the sea, your little Spanish ship, and you're sailing on the sea, and then you see this big British warship coming over the horizon, and instead of everybody moving the ropes and dropping the sails, and they just cut the rope that bound the sails, furled it along the beam, and the sail would drop, and they'd be able to move very quickly. So it's like moving very quickly. Cut the rope, get the sail down as fast as possible, get moving. The same theory could be applied to when a ship was in dock. If it was actually docked and the ship was tied to the dock and they needed to make a very quick getaway, instead of spending time undoing each of the ropes, they just run along and slice through the ropes, or get on the ship and cut the ropes from that end, so the ship could be free and get away more quickly. So to cut and run. It's kind of altered slightly in present usage. So because of businesses, people apply as in cut your losses and run. As in, you've invested a lot of money in this business, it's not working, stop now. You've lost that money, there's no way you're going to get it back. Stop, leave the business. And it can also just be applied for running away. When he saw the big guy coming towards him, he cut and run. He fled, he legged it. Alright, so those were some of the idioms beginning with C. I'll come back to the next one, D, in a few days' time. I want to put up a couple more grammar videos before that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in learning English, particularly as a second language, check out my website in my details. Alright? So, have a good weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.